See, it's Wednesday, so we got our Monday footage to go over. Let's jump right in. It's gonna be a short stream today. You guys really were tired. Maybe you were a little cold this last Monday. Maybe you're all staying home prepping for the blizzard we had today. Is that you, Jordan? Let's see. All right. Andrew over here with Dylan. Looks like he goes for a Sasai. Yeah, almost gets it. Andrew's looking for that takedown a lot lately. So we see the underhook, the pull, and the trip. But Dylan's got a really solid balance. He's able to stay standing. We got Daryl and Danny in the middle here. Me and this was Brent. He came in for his intro. He had some experience, so I said, yeah, let's get around. Yeah, no, welcome. We accept belts from other schools too, so happy you brought your black belt to my chat. Jordan and Coop starting off. Looks like, oh, Dylan getting caught standing, but he's holding through. All right, let's look at this. So look at Dylan over here. I'm not sure who initiated this. It looks like that was off of a snap. I feel like Andrew snapped him down. Yeah, okay. Getting caught in the guillotine. And this one's tough. This is an arm in guillotine, so it's going to be tough for Andrew to finish this as it is. So I think that's why we see him go down there. Circle to the back. Danny looking for a shoulder crunch. Dylan working a reap, trying to get that leg out. Gets Andrew sat down. Very nice. Jordan with kind of a lateral, more sitting than a throw, but we see the overhook. I imagine you had maybe an underhook, maybe it was a double overhook. That looks like double overhook. Brent pulls guard on me. Danny wrestling up. He does. He's come a long way. This guy. It's all rusty. Andrew looking for an Arimiyashi entrance here. So big reap over the top to get the breakdown. And I like the reap, you know, of course, you know, there's some danger associated with the reap. Andrew, I feel like, is treating this fairly safely. Like, you could see he lets go of the ankle pretty early, right? So reap goes in. Right there, he doesn't have the ankle. So this is going to allow that kind of unnatural bend in the knee that a reap can establish. It's going to allow that knee to move a little bit more. He'll break Dylan down here in a safe way. You know, you can see he's close to like a heel hook grip here, but now that Dylan's broken down to the knee, he's gonna see how Dylan turns through it, gives him a little break on the out, and that was either a tap or Andrew letting him out of that, letting him work. Shalom. What's up, Andrew? What's up, Caleb? How you boys doing? And just as I say it, Andrew locks in, not a heel hook, but a straight ankle. And yeah, let's look at this leg configuration. So shoots in on the, this isn't really an Arimiyashi. This is like a kind of an outside Ashi. It's almost like a reverse Arimiyashi. But again, get the knee broken down. Dylan turns all the way over. Andrew locks up the straight ankle grip. And then look at the legs. So we talk about this a lot during Legs Week. A common question I get. What's up, Espionage? Yeah, I know Andrew's been on a leg lock kick. I've been dealing with it. We talk a lot during leg lock week. Common question: hip position for heel hook versus straight ankle. And we talk a lot about things when we're going over legs as if heel hooks are like the one and only thing we teach, but we really need to delineate a difference where with heel hooks, you really want close hip to hip distance, right? You want to be all the way down on the leg, getting the heel exposed, a good connection to the hip, and the right grip around the ankle leads to a really can lead to a catastrophic break. When you're going for a straight ankle, though, when you're all the way hip to hip and they boot their ankle, you're not in a good position. Your forearm, whatever your grip is on the calf, usually. So you go to straighten the ankle out, that's not good. So Andrew is in a more advantageous hip position here by creating distance between his hips and using this leg. In fact, Luke, the first time Luke ever taught me a straight ankle way back in the day, this was something he really liked to use a lot too. The foot to the inner thigh to extend their leg away and kind of push yourself away too and get that hip to hip distance that you want for a straight ankle. Toshiyashi. Yeah, the moderators are going to ban him if he gets too detailed. How did Daryl get on the top here? It's Danny with the pinch headlock for a hot second. Daryl get around to the side, settling into side control. Looking to get that arm extended. All right, goes kind of a classic underhook crossface side control. Looks like he's trying to lay on some shoulder pressure here. Give Danny a little bit of misery. I feel like we're seeing him thinking about what he wants to do next. Does he want to isolate the arm? Does he want to advance the position? Or maybe he's really trying to figure that out. Looks like he's trying to isolate that far arm, maybe get it up and look to start setting up an arm triangle from the opposite side. Danny says, I'm going to just get out of this. I do have mods. I have one mod right now. It's me. What's up, Sean? How you doing, man? Jordan, I will await your instructional. You guys can talk through the details. Meanwhile, Coop goes for the old grab the leg and pull your arm down escape. Doesn't always work. In fact, I would say more often than not, it doesn't work. In my experience. Luke teaches it, and I'm sure Luke actually can pull it off. Danny almost got the sweep there with the hook. Well, when you miss us, we miss you too, Sean. I'm glad you're joining. See what you did there, Jordan. Yeah. Top tier for sure. Cooper looking for a triangle, but he's got both arms in. What happened with Brent and I? We had a good scrap here, so I'm gonna get on top. Just passing. Okay, whatever. I didn't point much out there. All right, Daryl looking like he wants to put into practice the standing guard break, but he's got to commit. He's got the bicep ties. And Danny gives his legs up, or gives his closed guard up. The legs are open. Daryl seems to still be thinking through the closed guard break, though. Danny catches him. Oh, does he get the turn? No, not quite. Danny on with the shin pin. He's got that top crucifix now. With Andrew and back action. What's going on here? Daryl fights up, trying to finish out the round in a strong top position. I can see Daryl's game starting to coalesce. I see these moves starting to go from thinking through it, getting towards acting on it. That's what I want to see. All right, Dylan and Danny. If you be heel hook anyone out here, help you. All right, I'll keep that in mind. It's all my training partners. I need you to just, like, you know, if a heel hook is maybe a 10-minute timeout every once in a while, that'd be fun. For the standing guard break, do you prefer biceps or armpits? I prefer biceps if I can get to them. Armpits, I feel like the armpits don't restrict the ability to, like, grab up and reach as much as the bicep ties do. However, if for whatever reason I can't get to the biceps, you know, it's somewhere I'll go to. The weakness of the bicep grip, in my opinion, is when they have both arms pinned. If I just straighten my arms over my head, I can reach up and clear a grip and get back to normal. So, like, when someone gets both hands on the bicep, that's my immediate response. So it has its own weakness too. The armpit may not be able to keep the arm pinned, but the bicep, you can fairly easily get the tie off. All right, we're getting around with John. He goes, after talking about the John Smith low single in the last chat, he opened up with it, or thought about opening up with it. Quick on the step back. Got Mike and Andrew over there. On my arm drag game right now. So fairly close. I've got that downward grip that I'm looking for to keep the hand low. Quick switch. Stepping outside. Trying to slide around the back. Now it's just getting this guy down. Couldn't get the trip. Now John really holds on to my grips here, so he's kind of locking me into this body lock from the back. Now it's a good question. Do you have a preference, Espionage? Yeah, John's a beast. He said I have tree trunks for legs, so he's my favorite person now. That's how he started this round. He just gave me the biggest compliment, which I don't ever get at the school, so he's my favorite. How did Andrew get on the back here? Nice. Little snap down, quick get up. Okay, so Andrew, I see that an example of your that pull from turtle that we talked about. Thank you, Ronnie. I teach you with the armpits, but I do it for the biceps all the time in live. Same kind of short arms. About the biceps, I end up feeling stretched out. I know what you mean. I think, like, for me, reaching to the biceps, even if they go high, like, the more my head is over top of their head, the easier it is for me to stand up. So I don't particularly feel stretched out in that sense where I'm, like, you know, reaching way high up and unable to do anything. Imagine if I stayed there too long, I probably would. But I try to react quickly and just, like, hop up to my feet. Unless my knee's bothering me, then I stand up and I make a sound like an old man getting off the couch. So switching, I had to dig really deep out of that body lock grip. Let's see, Andrew in the body triangle, switching back to hooks. Looking to get Mike in, like, it looks like you have some sort of Americana here to the straight arm. Mike's just slipping out. Yeah, this was a real slog trying to get to a better position on John, get some form of hooks or lower body control in. A lot of power in that jump up from close guard. Yeah, totally. Hopping isn't always an option. With arms to shoot up. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little reckless with my attempt. I don't worry too much about triangles if I have those bicep ties. Like they could throw their legs up all they want. If they can't pull my head down with like a collar tie, I'm not too worried. Maybe against some of these other long-limbed guys, I should be more concerned with that. Speaking of triangles, trying to get one on John here. I thought it'd be really awesome if I could, but I can't. Looks like Andrew's trying for one as well. Gets the leg over the shoulder. Head and arm. On Devin or from Devin? Oh, Danny gets it. Oh, okay. Looking over here. So arm. Oh, Dylan. Oh wait, Devin. Devin over here, right? I was gonna say Dylan about put himself into a head and arm. I messed up. Did it already happen? Sorry, I'm all over the place right now. Triangle. Oh, okay, there you go. I see it. So you get up into mount. It is mount week after all. Good. So you walking your hand up, nice and controlled. And then as Devin goes to hit that bridge, kind of a last minute little bridge. Yeah, your head is already outside the elbow. Settling in. You're not jumping. Oh, okay. You didn't even have to jump off to the side for that one. Nice. Very nice. Did he sweep using lockdown? Let's see. Did who sweep using lockdown? Who are we looking at here? Blue shorts. That would be Guy on the right. Who's nowhere right now on the screen. So he goes, kind of has a lockdown. I mean, like it's not a real traditional, like he doesn't have this leg triangled behind this leg, but he's using the same sort of pendulum motion that you would if you did have a lockdown. Which is, I think, a shortcoming in a lot of guys' games who just like learn how to set up a lockdown, but then don't know how to put it to good use. And I've been in that camp before. But yeah, that was a good observation. So Mike sets up almost a lockdown, more stepping on the calf. Swing. He's got Andrew's leg in pretty tight, and he's able to get him off balance. It's really surprising to me. Like, I think it was one of those eureka moments when I just started doing a pendulum with my legs when I had a lockdown, just to see what it got me. And they have to react to it, and however they react, they may open up a leg. You might be able to go out the back. You may be able to take their back. It's much better than just using it and trying to like stall out or reduce shoulder pressure or something, you know? So yeah, Espionage here, I'm actually talking John through exactly how I do it, so you can see I'm advising him on the bicep tie, which is just my preference. Devin. Okay. Jordan kind of shoots a little light shot there. Devin goes behind. Andrew and Mike in a leg battle. Standing up there. Looks like Danny and Dylan are talking through something. Nice sit out from John. I was thinking Anaconda right as he does this. I'm like, all right, let me get my grip, and then which way am I going to roll? And he goes, I'll tell you which way you're going to roll. I think I look for an arm drag again here. Veronica, are you back yet? Tired of not having you on stream. Good. Let's see how Mike enters the legs here. All right, so he's got this ankle grip, one leg up the middle. Kind of pulls Andrew into a knee on belly. And rolls through into an into an Orimiashi. So that leg's still inside with the butterfly hook. And digs out, I assume, the heel hook. Judging again by hip position. But with an Orimi, you can kind of like add a little bit of pressure in. And add pressure in with the butterfly hook and get the straight ankle. So not sure what Andrew, maybe you can tell us. John on my back now. Really don't want to be there. He was not strangling me, and I had to yell at him to finish it. I'm like, you get there, put it to use, man. That's what I want to see. I want you guys getting better so you can submit me. So when you get there, do it. He was being very kind. Looks like Devin and Jordan. So Devin working from north-south. Does he settle in here? Yeah. Gets into a north-south strangle. I would not want to be underneath that. Very nice. That was good. That was, I think he probably learned that, I want to say last week, or at least worked on it, drilled it last week. I think that was part of our second week of side control. What's up, Perp Daddy? Stranger. Be there tomorrow night. Heel hook, okay. Punch choke, good. Good, you deserve it. Right in the neck. Mike sneaking out north-south as he does. Annoyingly well. Do you mainly teach everyone heel hooks or mainly advanced group? We teach everyone. We just really make it a point to say, my spiel is arm bars hurt and then they break, heel hooks break and then they hurt, and try to make sure everybody knows that, especially beginners. I also like to try to lead by example, where if I get a heel hook, I don't like to finish them. I just like to get the grip. My partner knows that they have it or that I have it, and I let them tap on their terms. So I try to make sure everybody acts that way, except with, like, you know, if I get this guy in a heel hook, if I get this guy in a heel hook, if I get this guy in a heel hook, I'm gonna open it up, try to get it, try to make them tap. But yeah, for beginners, it's like, you guys don't know the move quite as well. I don't want you to turn the wrong way, so we impart good safety measures to beginners when they learn it. And honestly, man, the only ones getting hurt from heel hooks are the dumbass upper belts who take it a little too far and don't tap. Again, another camp I'm in from time to time. All right, I'll get off my soapbox. What about you, Sean? Does your school follow a similar protocol, or in your training experience, is that something you've seen, or do they hold it off till, you know, purple belt and above or whatever? It can bite you in the ass. Like Cooper, big tall Cooper over here, you know, he's 16. I think when he was 14, he got DQ'd from what was it? It wasn't even a reap. He just like had the kid's leg under control, and I think threw up like an Ashigarami, and the ref DQ'd him. And it was like Cooper knew that legs weren't illegal, but I mean, I think that legs were illegal, but I think because he practices it with us so much, it's like maybe second nature. So yeah, it may have been something like that Jordan was just in. I just had control. Yeah, that's right. You weren't even putting on a real threat. That was what was so frustrating about it. But there were talks around heel hooks and reaping. Yeah, reaping absolutely needs to be like clarified completely, because that's really, I think, where a lot of danger is. Like, you could set up a heel hook, you could get a grip and not do anything with it, but reaping, you don't realize the pressure you're putting on when you don't understand what a reap is. It's got Brent and Dylan here. Brent had he had some previous experience. He'd trained before, so it's always fun to kind of feel out these intro guys who have experience, see where they're at. All right, got a little kind of a Haragoshi here, maybe a Tai Toshi. Danny getting behind. John's holding on to that grip again, kind of tying Danny into that body lock. What's up, James? Jordan giving Ethan a lesson. See how Danny handles John's close guard here. Brent on a nice guillotine. He had the leg over the back, but I think putting on a little bit more rip into the guillotine, pulling this way, than crunching in this way, right? And it's funny, we talked about that. He and I talked about that in drilling. We were going over the Katagatame, I think. We were talking about the rotational component that's in every strangle. And I mentioned the guillotine, how, you know, you get that, you don't just pull the head off, you got to crunch in underneath. Of course, you know, in the heat of the moment, hard to remember those details. How do I know all the technique names? I'm just a nerd. I never trained judo, not formally. I just find it really interesting. Danaher, in the too many hours of his instructionals I've watched, he really likes to use the traditional terms. So that was where I picked up a lot of it. And then out of curiosity, I bought the judo Kodokan book a long time ago. It has like all of their moves in it, and the names and all that stuff. So the stuff that like pertains to the stuff you see in jiu-jitsu a lot more, that's the stuff I know. I can't rattle off the 64 traditional judo throws and all that stuff. Some of the it's not a people give me shit about it all the time, but it's like, oh, Brent on an armbar here. Yeah, Dylan is kind of turning the wrong way through it, but Brent had really good control over the shoulders. You certainly don't need to know the judo stuff. I just kind of take partially an academic approach to it, I guess. I just find it interesting. It's fun to learn. Got Andrew here in cross ashi against the wall over my head. Some guy, I probably shouldn't even get into it. I do like learning. So, Coop, this is what stupid people say. So, you shouldn't say that. It's not about sounding smart. I just like, I like studying this stuff. There was actually a guy, I'll say it. No, I'm not that smart. Nice sweep. Look at it here in a second. Nobody calls me a professor. Since I've had a black belt, I've only been called professor, ironically. I don't want to be called professor. You guys call me every other name in the book than that. Wait, where was the sweep, Andrew? Oh, that's right. Okay, so I want to see this. I think I just caught your posture in a bad spot. It wasn't even... Because you're really tight on this body lock grip. And I'm kind of framing the shoulders. Yeah, and my right knee comes up, right? So my right knee gets underneath you as you lift your hips. Maybe it was always there. Yeah, I really just kind of got you in a moment of bad posture. I can't say there was too much there other than a little opportunity that I caught. Professor works. Sweet Cheeks works. I'm little, I'm not smart. Yeah, some guy commented on one of our posts on Instagram where I mentioned like a Katagatame. He's like, was talking about Luke's rolling escape out of the Katagatame and how, or arm triangle, and he was like, made a joke about how that's what I said, you know, how that's the I used the Japanese terminology for that, and I looked at his page and he had a reel about how you shouldn't use the traditional terms because if you don't speak the language and you don't use the English terms, you're missing out on an instructive part of the like the technique itself. So like a double leg takedown kind of tells you about how to do the move. And I thought about it for a second and I'm like, is there something to that? I'm like, all right, well, double leg takedown, sure. I guess you could tell a guy on the street, hey, do what you think is a double leg takedown. And they might do something that looks like it. But it tells you nothing about the important stuff like the setup. So it doesn't really give you any actual instruction. That's what you're paying for by coming to a school. But then what about a move like an arm triangle? If I tell a guy who doesn't train, do an arm triangle, there's nothing instructive about the name of that move in English or in Japanese. Or, you know, things like omoplata, burrata plata, tarika plata, aoki lock, those things that are named after people. There's no instruction there. And like you just dig further in, the argument falls apart. Like barely any move outside of a wrestling move, you can suss out how to do it from the name of the move. So it was such a stupid argument to me. And also like way to live in the comments on like a jiu-jitsu page where a bunch of hobbyists review footage of themselves training. So yeah, terrible argument. And then he says people who say jiu-jitsu Japanese terms just like to sound smart. And when people say that, I've been hearing that since grade school. It's like, oh no, you are just stupid. And you're just trying to make me feel bad about it. So that's when I stopped listening. So watch your mouth, Cooper. What I miss? I think this is the night my life flashed. Oh, yeah. We'll find the little slip. Isn't Max called you sensei? Probably. That's why I like him. Keylock. Who's Keylock? Where was Keylock? I see it. Okay. This is when I was rambling, so I missed it. We'll go back. We have so little footage because you guys all quit like halfway through the open mat, so I can waste some time. Looking over here under the clock at Coop. Imagine it's around here. You're side on. Kizukatame and Uchimata are the only two I actually know. That's fine. I mean, you don't even need to know those. You could call it Scarfold, and you could call it incorrectly a hip throw. But as long as you know the move and how to do it, whatever, call it whatever you want. Eddie Bravo calls it whatever he wants, and he seems to have reached a level of success with using, made up names for positions that he didn't know. He gets made fun of for it, but like, I mean, in the end, really, who cares? Like, as long as there's a sound associated with the technique, it doesn't matter as long as everybody else knows it. I just find it funny when people are like, yeah, I do jujitsu. Oh, you shouldn't say the Japanese term. It's like, you just said one. You didn't call it submission grappling. You say you do jujitsu, but like, that's where you stop. Or that's where you hang your hat. Just because you say you do jujitsu doesn't mean you need to know it, but God, you guys got me started. Fired up. If the move works, it works. Exactly. Nope. Meanwhile, that same guy on his Instagram, his little subtitle under his name said "expert grappler," I believe. It's like, how can you call yourself an expert? Imagine when he finds out about Sambo and they have their own names in Russian. Onto an armbar with Jordan, because Jordan said he told me here, he's like, yeah, I want you on my back because I can never get out of the armbar. And I said, well, then why am I here? Because I have such a hard time strangling you. So I switch. I say, all right, I'm just go back to the armbar. And then he punks me really good here. Espionage, you couldn't have. You said it more efficiently than I ever could have. That's really all it is. So whatever language it's in, it doesn't matter. Again, we just had, that was a great escape, Jordan. Pulling that from Luke's escape, where he did the exact same thing to me, a really well-timed turn, slipping the elbow out. I like the Japanese stuff primarily because it's been in the sport for centuries or however long, so it's cool to me to just learn that. Again, it's just a studious, like, academic approach to it, and you don't have to do it at all. I just like it. I feel like 2/3 of the room left between the last. Yeah, everybody dipped, man. So now you get to watch me try to ragdoll Jordan the way he ragdolls me. You want people to leave open mat early. So I'm saying, Sean, I should make you a moderator because I could give you the names, the screen names. You could time them all out for leaving early. Nice, Caleb. That might be the funniest thing you've ever said. Throwing up the triangle now on Jordan. I don't remember if I get this one. I don't think I do. We also got Danny and Mike over here. Did not notice that. Let's see if we miss anything good. Mike so awesomely put on 6-minute rounds. Not those god-awful 5-minute rounds Luke has us doing. So Mike unable to get out of that mount for a little bit. And Danny not really progressing with it. So let's see here. Danny lifts the leg up. This is where Mike finds his out. Gets back to briefly a half guard, but side control. Now back to knee on belly. Danny making his way back to mount. I believe Mike gets a false reap here into a cross Ashi entrance at some point. Almost gets, all right. He doesn't get the sweep, but he gets himself back to turtle position. It's that sweep from that north-south position Mike seems to do effortlessly. But Danny really trying to stay connected and run down the guard here. Jordan laying on some heavy shoulder pressure onto my face. And Mike looking for that. There he goes. He gets the cross ashi there. See the centers. So Danny is trying to run behind. He's got the knees pointed in this direction. But Mike slips. It's going to be hard to see, but Mike slips his top foot in, the left foot. Right there. And once he's there, if he can just get Danny leaning forward, he's going to lift Danny's right foot off the mat. And that's where he could slip in behind it. Look how off balance Danny is now. His weight is on his hands, so his legs are very light. Mike can get to... There it is, right there. He sets up the triangle on the leg. Now he just has to get Danny sat down to his butt, and he does it with a really nice roll through. That was sick. That was a really nice inversion. And now he's digging on that leg. Danny looking to get up. Can he do it? Yeah, that was really, really nice. Looks like Mike gets something, a heel hook or a knee bar. I'm going to say heel hook just by some hand movement I saw. Now, and that was what was really nice about that is you get to the cross ashi. I will forever mess up saying that. And when you're stacked like this, and I you know, again, just more mistakes I make. I get here and I really try to bring my heels down to the mat and sit them down this way. But Mike made a great adjustment here with Danny over top of him. He just rolls him through. Like, he just inverts. Rather than fighting to put Danny's weight back, he just takes Danny's weight forward by getting underneath him. Does he push off the mat there? I think he, with his, you'll see his right leg. He unlocks his triangle, pushes off there, right? Kind of like you would do with the sweep with your power leg, you know, your bottom side leg. Gets his hips up off the mat and just hits a forward roll and then relocks it. That was really nice. Good night, Caleb. Sweet dreams. Jordan with the big oopa. Joe was distracting me. It's the only reason it worked. Oh, that's... Jordan almost tore his himself again on that stand-up. This is where, because we're in a big sweat puddle. Watch that right leg. Was it that one or was it your left leg, Jordan? In reverse, it looks like. Oh, okay, yeah, your left leg slid forward. That was your one that went owie, right? Left, yeah. I almost went to cross myself. But Jordan throws on a really good Darce threat here, making me immediately work defense. Did Mike just like let Danny? Kinda. Danny got the mount really fast on Mike. He doesn't let me do that. Forgot about your gummy bears. Yeah, where are those shorts at, man? Get the gummy bear shorts out. Mike on another leg lock. I think that time it was like a straight ankle. Something. Or maybe an Aoki lock. I believe he's been working those a lot lately. Which, if you're not familiar, the Aoki lock, think straight ankle, but you let the heel slip in front of your chest and their toes point away from you, and you get this like, it's similar to the pressure of a heel hook, but you're in the straight ankle position. Similar to the foot position of an inside heel hook. mounted muffling action to finish out that round. Yeah, it's a really, really great lock. If you've ever had trouble with straight ankles, which I definitely have, they're not. I'm measuring myself against, like, you know, Luke and Mike, who seem to hit them at will, and I never hit it on them. But that's a good alternative. You do everything you normally do, get to the straight ankle, but then just slip the heel in front of you and try to turn. It's a turning. It's a weird. It's like a turning and a linear submission on the leg, if that makes sense. Big turn from Jordan. How'd you guys... Okay, Jordan looks like he went down. Started down? Yes. Sorry, one more time. Did I arm drag you, Coop? Oh, no. Okay, just slipped out the back. Andrew about to turn into a mount or a mounted triangle there. Saw you looking for it. Well-timed turn from Jordan. He's catching Andrew's hips a little low to the mat. Coop turning me over as I dig on this Kimura, which I think I started to get really worried about my own arm with that. Is there any recommended source review terms? If you say Aoki to me, I think yeah, no, fair. Wanderlust, are you one of our students, or are you just checking out the stream? Oh, hey Tatiana, how are you? Okay, source review terms. So yes and no. I mean, there's a wealth of stuff out there just online on YouTube that you could check out. Some moves, so I referenced them earlier. Moves like Aoki lock, Barado Plata, Tarika Plata. I think I mentioned another one. Those are moves that are like named after people, famous fighters who like, or you know, either fighters or jiu-jitsu guys who like popularized the move. So that stuff, don't sweat that so much. You could go look up Aoki lock if you'd like, and you'll find a million videos on YouTube about it. And it is spelled exactly how you spelt it. It's named after Shinya Aoki, an MMA fighter. But I wouldn't focus too much on that since you're new. Like, you know, go explore the things that make you curious. But then you'll be working a lot of just regular fundamentals. I don't anticipate you cranking Aoki locks on anybody in the near future. Definitely go look up whatever makes you curious. That's the most fun way to learn, in my opinion. And don't be afraid of the Japanese terms. If you were here for my spiel earlier. Coop, that looked violent. What did I do to you here? Oh. Just good timing on the legs. So, I see his legs kind of lined up here. Hit a little sweep. Let him fall. Hey, Coop, since you're in the stream, if you're still in the stream, why should I watch the USA-Canada hockey match tomorrow? Because I'm seeing some hype about it. I saw some fight footage from past events, I guess. It seemed kind of awesome. Only for the fights, if I'm being honest. Is it worth figuring out how to watch it? Definitely watch it. I'm getting behind on the chat here. Oh, Mikey Lock for sure. That's another one. I've always hated training heel hooks and ankle locks. What do you hate about it, Sean? Just out of curiosity. I'm not gonna motivate you into it, but I am curious what you don't like about it. If you see a move mentioned in the chat here, 50% of the time we made it up, unless Perp Daddy says it, then it's 100% made up. Nah, not. Kind of. Wait. As an anime fan, you're kind of used to Japanese. Oh, perfect. You probably know more Japanese than I do. Last game 3 3 fights in 9 seconds. It's on TNT. I'm sure I could pirate that somehow. Just kidding. Just kidding. I wouldn't do that. I'm going to need somebody's login, though, for whatever streams TNT. I do want to watch it. I like hockey. I never watched it enough to really follow it. But the times where I have, or when I've seen it live, when I've gone to like hockey matches, it's super rad. Give me your login or your mom's credit card or something, and I'll sign up for YouTube TV. Here we got some straight ankling going on here with Jordan. Jordan really sending that one. Let's see how this evolves. So we're in not really a 50-50. Jordan is in outside Ashigarami, and Andrew is addressing it. Now, Andrew is in outside Ashi, and Jordan, you put him there, right? When you bring this leg over, you're kind of almost giving Andrew full isolation of your own leg, right? This leg of his is tucked underneath your butt, so that's why I say it's almost a full isolation. Now Andrew's bringing your leg to the outside, and he could start going on the attack, which is really, really good by Andrew. But now, Jordan, you slip in a grip somewhere. Where was it? Going to reverse. So you don't have it there, so you lean back, and you're digging on it now. There you go, you get your grip. Seeing a lot of space between your chin and your hands. But it looks like you get the rip. Rocked a kid earlier at practice. Proud of you, Coop. Just get it on video so I can see it. Sloppy, I think he pity tapped. I don't like touching people's feet, weirds me out. That's fair. That is a fair point. See too many Polaris highlights. Yeah. That's understandable. It's very understandable. Go watch Polaris and Gary Tonin, though, if you want to be inspired, and you can see that Polaris, although he looks like a big Brazilian nightmare, is nothing to be worried about with our fearless Gary Tonin taking him straight on and fully engaging in legs with him. It really was. That was a killer match. And yeah, but the feet thing, I completely get, Sean. Whenever we're on legs week, it's funny. A few of us, actually, Jordan and myself, like after class, we immediately run out into the kitchen and go wash our hands because it's like, oh God, just been grabbing people's feet for the last hour or two. Also, keep in mind, I don't know how many people know this, but everybody needs to know it if you train jiu-jitsu. Ringworm and athlete's foot are the exact same fungus. So if you have athlete's foot, you have ringworm, it's just on your feet. So don't go traipsing around on the mat with athlete's foot thinking, you're not going to spread it, because you absolutely will. Danny shoots up a triangle here. All right, Devin taps pretty fast on that one. Okay. Cooper reaping the ever-living hell out of my leg here, I think. Yeah. So this is a great example of reaping pressure. Super scared to put my left leg anywhere. Yeah. Yeah, Coop, you could do leg locks. What you're not supposed to do is what you're, in comp is what you're doing to me here. So you have your foot in a good place, but look at this pressure. Look how Cooper gets my heel off the mat by bringing his leg across my body. Not even across my body. Better way to say it. He points his knee, tries to point his knee in a direction across my body. That's what gets my leg turned up there. He's really putting pressure on, and now he's got a full look at my heel where he could throw on an outside heel hook. He goes for the grip. I notice he doesn't have it. That's the only reason I turned back. If he did have the grip, I would not have turned in that direction. I would have broken my own leg. Jordan denied. Tatiana, I'm so glad you tuned in. Lotrimin is a cure. Yep, over the counter. Or if you, like me, I went to my doctor. I said, hey, I do this sport, this stupid sport. Can you just give me the biggest possible tube of prescription strength, whatever, for the inevitability of getting it? She was like, yeah, sure, here. So I have like a half a lifetime supply. All right, last round. So we got Mike and Andrew. I'm like really trying to keep Andrew down. Me and Danny. Danny proposing to me briefly, changing his mind. Let's not rewind. What? Obviously, I'm going to do that. Yeah, there's the shutdown. The Andrew shutdown. Onto the smother. Looks like some smother pressure. Just about gets it. You were looking to kip out of that, though. You weren't in any trouble. You guys remember a few months ago? I've actually heard of that. Like somebody getting ringworm from their pet. I didn't realize. I think it was from a horse or something. I didn't realize it was such a common thing. Stacks. What's crack-a-lackin', man? Good to see you. Big ups to you, bruh. Going back, I've missed so much. Yeah, clip your toenails and your fingernails. I say that. I log off every stream. Trim your nails, do your laundry, don't be stinky. I have so many scars from long fingernails and toenails. Hell yeah. Glad to hear it, man. Are you in blizzard territory, Stacks? I know you're way up in the Great White North. We got a little bit of snow here near Charlotte, so that was fun for us. Mike trying to peel his way out of this with his legs. Look at Mike's leg in a position that I hope he's afraid of. That Andrew's not doing anything bad here. He's like got a grapevine on the leg. That's a way that I like to get back into guard. I fish for that leg just like Andrew's doing. Andrew, look at you. Nobody does this move except me, and I'm so glad to finally see someone else doing it. Everybody goes fishing for the leg with this leg, where they kind of turn towards their opponent and reach over. I like to do it how Andrew's doing it, where he turns his body away and tries to fish this top leg over. You pull it out away from the body, and it allows you to fish this leg underneath. I find that with my short, stubby legs much easier than the traditional turn towards your opponent and grab with your outside leg. That never really worked well for me. So yeah, lift. You can often get your other leg in and then try to either work back to a guard or sometimes they slide out and go up to like Keisuke Tame, which is frustrating. I got to see this little exchange with Danny and I. Danny going over the top, leaving himself exposed to the back take. So way up high, keep my head nice, my neck nice and straight up, turn the corner, be able to get to the back. Danny almost elbows me. Now he's looking to play something. He was looking at De La Riva, but it's another great example. If you told somebody who never trained, set up a De La Riva guard, they have no idea what it means. Names aren't meant to be instructive. They're indices for ideas. So I was okay with Danny sweeping me over like this because I have the Kimura here, but it didn't work out well for me in the end. I didn't get to keep it. So he takes me up and over. I wanted to go in that direction. I'm looking to get to this, almost this position, more perpendicular to Danny in this direction, but he does a great job slipping the elbow here. Once the elbow's out, I know I'm cooked. I've got to go to a new plan. really, really wanted this triangle too. Have I missed anything over here, Andrew? What did you guys do? Oh, you're just relocating. Okay. Yeah, man. I mean, I won't complain to you. It's in the 20s here, so I can't imagine what you're putting up with. I'm actually really hot right now. My AC is like overcompensating. So like the second story is always like way hotter. Sitting here cooking in a hoodie. So Danny starts stacking me, and I feel pretty good about this, but he's maneuvering his body in such a way that it's making it very difficult for me to lock up the triangle of my legs. So while I have a good angle on his body, if I remember correctly, he's really driving his shoulder into this move, whereas ideally, I almost kind of want him to try to rip it out. That takes more meat out of the cross section that I'm trying to strangle, right? But because he's throwing more body into it and smashing into me as he does it, it makes it really difficult to lock this up. I mean, I was really feeling pressure on my own knee here as I tried to do something with it. Here, I'm looking for a grip to possibly turn him over. I realize I don't have it. It's like, all right, I got to get back to guard now. Mike going on to the arm bar. Let's see this. All right, so Mike working from side control. Andrew starts to turn up towards him. Mike goes up to this side on, dorsal position, north-south position. That elbow up top. He gets his Kimura grip. And instead of going for the back, he sits behind, sneaks his foot over the body. He's got his crossface foot in. And now Mike opts to go for a full armbar with both legs, one leg over the body, one leg over the head, rather than the 3/4 that he likes to go to, where he's got both heels in the neck. He gets the arm extended. Danny nailed a very nice darce on me here. He goes up knee on belly, and too bad Caleb left the chat. I was trying to do this thing Caleb's been doing a lot lately, where I scoop the ankle, and then I was looking to push on Danny's hips. So push Danny in this direction, sit up, and then enter into a leg attack. I realized, though, that if you're going to do that move, they got to be in a real, like, traditional knee on belly, upright. They can't be bent over you like Danny is here. Danny's primed to go into a darce strangle. Again, another name, named after somebody. No instruction on the name at all. In fact, if you wanted to, you could call it an inverted katagatame, but who would say that? I would. So you can see I'm like looking for my possibility of a leg entrance. But Danny locks up the darce because he sees him from everywhere. And I'm like, I'm not tapping, or I'm not getting out of that. So good early tap. Great adjustment from Danny. The Deep South and the wind chill is 14 right now. Dude, yeah, I heard like Alabama and the Panhandle and stuff, they were getting really nailed today. Subtle flex. Just have a small house just stacked on top of itself, that's all. Hoping for some small ponds near the lake to freeze over. Has that happened here, Cooper? Have you ever skated on like something connected to Lake Norman? Yeah, the darce is, I think, a uniquely difficult move to escape. It's more, to me, it's more tactics on how to last through it and make your opponent give up than it is on how to actually escape it. Yeah, the darce is from absolutely everywhere. There are variations on it in so many spots. Like I mean, I don't know if I've seen it live, but there's a variation when somebody is on your back, you can hit a darce on them. If anybody ever hits it on me, I will hurt myself badly out of anger. shame. So just about get to an omoplata here on Danny. We really fight through it. And then trying to set up like a rear crucifix, all sorts of things here. Danny looking to rip my arm off. I'm not going to repeat what he said to me here as he failed to Kimura me. But notice here, I'm in a really terrible position. Danny made a great adjustment to the submission threat. He went from being threatened with a submission to escaping to immediately threatening a submission. And that's such an important skill to develop. It just takes a lot of time to do that. But here, can't get my arm behind my back. I'm far too strong for him. I may be light. Look at all that daylight, but I'm far too strong for Danny's Kimura game. Get out of here. I don't know why I'm talking smack. He's not even in the stream. Goes to a mount from there, which I'm fine with if he's not trying to rip my arm off. Trying to work my mount game or my mount escape game because it is mount week after all, right? That's why I'm doing it. Andrew over here getting rolled by Mike. Let's see this. We'll end on this escape from Mike because, again, he's so damn good at it. Let's look at what he's doing. Early on, he's trapping Andrew's arm. So he's taking away Andrew's base in this direction, right? Sorry, let's catch a punch out real quick. Cooper's saw kids find some pond near the lake. Huh. I wouldn't. This is old man Matt saying I wouldn't do that. If I was your age, I probably would do it. Yeah. Well, is the omoplata one of the most low percentage submissions? Has to be. I would say if you look up in no-gi, the amount of times a match at high level has been finished with an omoplata, I'd agree it's probably very low. I don't have hard numbers on that. I'll go back. One thing I really like about the omoplata, an idea that I like about it, is you can use it to enter the legs. So we have 15 seconds left on the clock. Let's go back real quick on this omoplata. Find a good frame where it makes sense. So right here, where I initially set it on, when I use this, look how available Danny's legs become to me. I was kind of dead set on trying to hit the omoplata. I don't know why. This is a tactic that I have not melded into my game well. And every time I see it on stream, I try to point it out and I think about it, and then I never do it when I get back to class. But look at how his legs open up for me here. This is a prime opportunity to enter the legs. So omoplata has a place in no-gi. I just think it's better suited for lower body attacks, like switching to lower body attacks. You know, unless you're against somebody significantly smaller than you and you could easily get their arm out, or you really just like the move. I think like Carlson Gracie or somebody, one of those guys, he built a whole game on it. But that was most likely in the gi, where you could reach up and grab the belt rather than like what I'm trying to do, where I'm trying to tight waist Danny here, right, to keep him down. I could grab the belt and keep him down much more easily. So omoplata is more effective in the gi, in my opinion. Again, I don't have hard numbers on that though. Can you explain the omoplata? Because I feel like it is there at certain times. Yeah, I'll go over it. Easy transition into a triangle from omoplata too. Maybe. So you could see Danny here in a second. Instead of like trying to go forward, he just lifts me up and puts me back. This might be a time when you can catch it. Here, the way Danny rolled, since he like exposed his back to me, you're not going to see it. But if he gets to here and then tries to turn the corner, then I might have an opportunity for a triangle. Maybe while I'm thinking about it, I think a front triangle is probably like a regular triangle is probably the only one you're going to get out of that. There might have to be something really funky in order to look at like a side triangle or a reverse triangle or something. Mostly out of one of my spins. Pairs with the triangle. You don't know what you're talking about, Coop. Shut up. Explain the omoplata. So I'll give you a rundown, and then Cooper, if this isn't clear, ask me in class. So it's a triangle-like grip with my legs used to isolate just the arm, with a goal of putting the arm in a position similar to the Kimura, right? So we have bent elbow, hand down by the hip, and they're defending by keeping their hand in front of their body. What I'm trying to do is keep the hips stationary, and then when I get here, if I did it right, what you would see is me kind of sitting my legs out to the side, so you'd see my feet kind of like swishing out to my right, and I would start to lift my hips in order to get the hand from in front of the body to behind the back. That's where you set it on. So you're not digging it out with your legs, you're not digging it out with your arms, you're constraining the motion of their torso, and you're lifting your hips, almost like doing a technical get up a little bit. No, not like doing a technical get up. Scratch that. Yeah, you're sending your hips forward and using the power of your core to get the hand behind their back. It's like hitting a Kimura with your legs if you can flatten them out. Similar, yeah. There is a legs Kimura that you can hit, which I absolutely love. It's even more powerful than a Kimura, and I've done it on stream a couple times. I'll try to hit it again and point it out. But regardless, yeah, it's very, very similar, Sean. And Cooper, I hope that explains it. If it doesn't, again, talk to me in class. I'll let you do it to me a bunch. So Andrew, we were looking at something Mike does here. What is this? So Mike's got a... Oh, I see what he's doing. Is this what you were talking about, Andrew? This is kind of nasty. So let's look at what we're missing here is Mike's grip on the setup. So he's got... Basically has... he's got Andrew in... I don't know what sort of Nelson you would call this. If it's a half Nelson or a quarter or a 3/4 or whatever. But you can see he weaves his right arm behind Andrew's head and then in front of the armpit. So Andrew can't put his arm down, and his basically his shoulder is being like fully extended here. Yeah, good. You're an albino Dalsim. So then he steps over with Andrew's inability to bring that arm down. Mike steps over straight into a triangle. He doesn't go across the stomach. He weaves his foot up to where his fist is. And now he's got Andrew in a really nasty, awkward triangle position with a lat armbar, right? So he's got Andrew's arm right here straightened out. The pressure coming from the elbow position relative to Mike's lats, and that's really nasty, Andrew. That sucks. Thank you for pointing that out. I totally missed that. A Willie Nelson, a willy nilly. I like it. It's officially a Willie Nelson. So again, we said we'd end on this. Mike getting his typical escape from north-south that he's so good at. He's like halfway there now. Just barely gets the turn. And notice Andrew kickstands out. He puts that left leg down. And Andrew doesn't even actually completely turn over here. Mike just finishes the turn himself and gets up and takes the top position. So Andrew goes over by virtue of Mike's finishing mechanics on that move. We dragged 35 minutes of footage out into an hour and 15 minutes. So I hope you guys are happy. Thank you for sticking around. Killer chat tonight. I appreciate all the questions. Sean, Espionage, Stacks, always love having you guys drop in and hang out. Tatiana, welcome. Glad to see you again in chat. Hope you keep coming back. Keep asking questions. I don't care how fundamental they are. That's what this whole chat is about. It's not to showcase Japanese knowledge, terms, and all that stuff, or how many fighters we know that you don't know. It's all about making sure you guys are learning and getting the most out of your extracurricular time. So thank you again for coming in. Is it because of the depth of his head under me? The depth of his head under me. I'm not sure what you mean depth-wise. What you're referring to exactly. He draws shallower and shallower as he rotates. Yeah, like he's getting out from underneath you. I'd say the reason this works so well for Mike, one, you know, blocking your base, right? He's taking away the right arm. You start in side control here, but as he gets to north-south, which really what you're saying, I think, is just another way of saying exactly. He's leveraging that rotation. He gets to north-south, and in this way, because of the chest-to-chest connection you guys have, and your inability to base, with the mobility of his hips, he can put a lot of torque into turning you over. And since you don't have that mechanical advantage anymore being in side control, where, like, you know, your hips are far away and he would have to turn you over. Now he's in line with you, so it's easy for him to turn his hips and transmit that motion to your body. Yeah, Sean, exactly. Like if Mike was doing this and trying to turn in this direction, you would just put your arm out, right? Notice as the finish goes, what little base you have is in that left leg of yours, but the turn is happening so far away from that he can actually get that torque all the way over and put you down. So it's kind of like how we talk about in mount, where maybe what's a better example? Kind of like, I guess like a butterfly guard. When we pull somebody over us, we can dictate their motion. This is a similar thing happening from north-south. Mike is bringing your center of gravity more in line with him and into a position where he can actually turn more effectively and get the sweep. I hope that clarifies it. I'm trying to say it as succinctly as I can, but that's what's going on. It's all about the alignment and the turn. It's a good question. Talk about ice cream and making fun of Cole. I think Cole dipped out. He would have talked more smack if you had kept it going. Thank you, Andrew. Great questions, guys. I really love it. Keep it coming. Hit that follow button if you like what you're seeing. Subscribe as well. That's the best way to help out the channel. Subscribe at YouTube if you want to see this for your review. And all of our other past open mat sessions are up there, as well as competition footage, all that good stuff. I hope you guys stay warm, stay safe tomorrow if you're going to go out driving. Trim your rash guards, wash your fingernails. And yeah, bring any questions you have to class. As always happy to go over it with you guys. So we'll leave it there. Go trim your nails and do your laundry. And don't be stinky. We'll see you guys back at class. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate you, bro. Everybody tell Sean thank you. We'll see you guys later. Take it easy.